us in. So for those of you who don't know, we didn't meet me last time. Yes, my name is Dan Cooke. I'm the Senior Director of Facility Operations. So under my umbrella is food service for the institution, is custodial maintenance and engineering, our life safety security, as well as our grounds and our mail service. So that's kind of all things operational. I'm working heavily with Diana's team as far as, with design features and stuff for that, but basically my role is once they turn the buildings over to me, so the Bloomberg Center, Tata, and the house is really, what I'm dealing with. So it's a pleasure to be here, and thanks for having me back. One thing I would like to do is I'd just like to introduce Chris Lewis and Rob Esplin. They introduced themselves before, but they're from our food and beverage service provider. They'll be speaking a little bit later. They were Star, now they have rebranded themselves to Constellation Culinary Group. Is that correct? And that's a very recent development, but again, I'll yield the floor to them just in a few minutes. The one thing I wanted to mention about the cafe is that, believe it or not, we're obviously coming quickly upon Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we will disseminate this information through the media channels, but we are going to reduce and in some sense close our hours when the students are not here. For example, we'll be closed during the extended Thanksgiving weekend, which will be Wednesday through Sunday, which is November 22nd through the 25th. And then the school is actually closed from December 22nd through New Year's Day, January 1st. So the cafe will be closed then. And then we're going to have reduced hours, really mainly lunch service and a little beyond lunch with our parliament for the weeks of December 17th, for the week of January 2nd, and for the week of January 7th. And then students are back in full force after that, and then we'll be back into full operation. So that's the one piece of it. The other thing that I do owe you some information on from last time is we were talking about our recycling, our sustainability as it related to the buildings that are in operation. And 4 months in, I've got a little bit more of a handle than I did the last time, and we've been talking with, thanks to Christina Delfico, who's not here this evening, but she helped us out with a consortium group that's the Pollution Prevention Institute. We've been talking to them regularly about our sustainability efforts, and they've been very helpful, and we're certainly looking forward to using their resources as far as our efforts go. But one of the specific things I wanted to get back to you about is one of the things that was brought up last time was just the kind of the unsightliness of our garbage that sits out on West Loop Road for an extended period of time while we're waiting for those cans to be picked up. So we worked with the hauler, which is Zeus, which covers all three of the properties, to reduce that window, to reduce that unsightliness. We are considering, perhaps relocating that garbage, a little farther down West Loop Road, so if anyone's eating at the cafe, if you're sitting on that side, so you're not exactly seeing that right next to you, so that should be an improvement as well. But we're really trying to limit the time that it's out there. And then we also have ordered some more containers because we are certainly using the food and beverage operation and much more so than we thought. We're actually doing a lot of more food production down there than what it was designed for. So that's creating a lot more our waste and recyclable material, as well as just the building being more and more occupied. So we're getting some more containers to kind of limit that. If you've seen our cans, I hate to talk garbage, but they're very full, so we'll have lids on it to look more presentable. They'll be less full, and that will help out as well. Also internally, we're looking to take a look at how we, not necessarily collect our garbage, because we have spoken to the students who came in. I spoke to them in orientation. I've spoken to the staff as far as our recycling efforts, and we seem to be doing a very good job from that, from the source. But when it actually gets down to our collection sites within the building, that we're looking to reorganize that a little bit more to help us out, both with our recycling, transporting it out, as well as to be just more streamlined and to loosen up some space in the kitchen so we can do more things and serve the community much better. So that's kind of it for sustainability and recycling. It does lend itself to one thing I do want to talk about with our Constellation friends here. It is a partnership with Cornell. We did decide to outsource our food service operation, and again, it's gone through quite a change. I've only been here 4 months, but I know that, originally it was designed as a commissary kitchen, and then to change to the community needs, both the Cornell Tech community and Roosevelt community. You know, it really is a full-service cafe. We have stretched our facility at times, you know, trying to do that. And the one thing I did want to talk about is most recently, we did post a C grading from the Department of Health, which is very unfortunate, and I'll let our Constellation partner speak to that in a little while. No one wants that, obviously, and I was most impressed with Constellation's reaction to that. You know, once that happened, we got an action plan in place. One of the main things, and we did send a letter out to the Roosevelt Island community as well as to the Cornell Tech community, that we are striving to get this from a C grading to an A grading as fast as we can. You know, it certainly is regrettable that it has happened, and we're really trying to restore the trust in the community. We have changed management, as you can see. Chris is 5 days on the job? 4 days on the job. So the general manager was here. He is no longer working for the company. We welcome Chris. Chris has an excellent background, graduate. I'll just pump Chris up for a second, but we're very pleased when we interviewed him as a candidate. And now that we have him here, we're very excited. He graduated from Johnson & Wales, both with an associate's degree in the culinary skills, which is excellent, but also has a BA in food service management. We're really looking for someone who will have both sides of the house. And he has 15 years of experience, corporate, Microsoft, organizations like that, plus he worked in higher ed settings, so he kind of had the best of both worlds. So we're very happy to have Chris here. And, you know, with the action plan, that was part of it. Rob is, works in the corporate office as senior leadership. He is the vice president of operations for the company. Happy to have him here today. Rob and I have become very good friends over the last few weeks. He's been on site quite a bit, will remain on site quite a bit. He is then going to be the point person, so there's been a supervisory reassignment on the account. Is that fair to say, Rob? So we're looking forward to that as well. So Constellation has made some management changes. We're really looking forward to that. For the nuts and bolts of it, you know, we've immediately changed our pest control provider. Constellation hired a third-party hygienist. You know, that's a company that comes in, very objective look, as it would be the Department of Health, to come in and do a mock inspection to see where we stand. They were on site for about a week and a half on daily inspections, and now they're coming back weekly. You know, we're certainly waiting to have an inspection like we did in June, which was would have resulted in an A rating, but unfortunately it was non-graded inspection, and you know, that did not happen. So, among other things, procedural changes, retraining of the staff. I'll leave it up to the gentleman to talk about that. But again, you know, our goal is to go from this C rating that is posted to get an A rating, and obviously to maintain that A rating whether the Department of Health is coming or not, because that is a very regretful situation. We want to regain the community's trust as quickly as we can. So that being said, I'd just like to turn it over to Chris and Rob if they'd like to say a few words. Chris can tell you a few ideas he has for the cafe.